Hello! Welcome to Squid Essays. Inking your academic pen. My name is Julie and I will be your instructor as we read through persuasive outline and speech presentation essay. The article source is embedded in the video description below. Feel free to read along. Please note that you can get a custom, plagiarism-free essay for as little as $10 a page at Squid Essays. The link is in the description. 1. This is a problem-solution speech, which means you must present a problem, discuss it, and provide a solution in the speech. Use the topic you proposed in your topic proposal and researched for your annotated bibliography assignment. However, if you feel the topic you use for those assignment DOESNT work, you can choose another. A full range of topics are available to you, but whatever you choose, make sure it is something that is within your personal range of interests and can be made interesting to your audience. In addition, make sure the topic is something for which you have enthusiasm and some knowledge. If you are having trouble thinking of a topic, try looking through these sites. 2. This speech should be 6 to 8 minutes in length. You will deliver the speech extemporaneously, to a gathered audience. You should plan to use either 3x5 or 4x6 index cards as a guide while you speak. However, you should not write out the entire speech and read it word for word. Make the best use of your professional space, and use a podium or other professional speaking aid, if desired. Additionally, you will be required to cite your sources of information in the speech presentation. All 5 sources should be mentioned in the speech. Please consult the documents entitled Evidence Cards and Oral Citations for examples of how to prepare an evidence card and how to cite sources within a presentation. 3. Audience. You will be required to gather an audience of 3 to 5 people. Failure to secure an audience will result in an automatic 20% speech grade deduction. Pets, stuffed animals, and children will not count as a gathered audience. Arrange your speaking space in advance so you capture the interaction and adaptation to your audience. In other words, please record your speech so we see you and your audience throughout the entire presentation. It is perfectly okay if all we see are the backs of their heads. We will still be able to witness your interaction with your audience. Secure a tripod for a steady recording of your presentation, and use a microphone if you need audio support. If you need to have someone else hold the recording device, make sure that person does not move around or make any extra noise. 4. Visual aids. You will be required to present a visual aid within this speech. One PowerPoint slide or Word document that is clearly visible to the audience and to me, depicting an important piece of information would be an example of an appropriate visual aid. However, they are not your only options. Please consult the document entitled Persuasive Speeches and Sample Feedback for an example of how a visual aid can be used within a speech. 5. Outline. You will create a formal preparation outline for the speech. An outline worksheet is provided in D2L. You must submit the outline in the Dropbox before you upload your video to YouTube. Remember, everything is time-stamped in D2L and on YouTube. The outline must be constructed using complete sentences. Please consult the document entitled Persuasive Speech Sample Outline for an example of how to create the outline for this assignment. The outline must include a reference page, bibliography, that is properly formatted in APA 6th edition style. See the library resources for information about APA style. Use the sources you found while preparing your annotated bibliography assignment. Keep these things in mind while preparing your presentation. Purpose. Why are you talking about this subject to this group of people at this time and in this place? What will be accomplished as a result of this endeavor? What are your ethical obligations to this subject and this audience? Are you a good person speaking well? Supporting materials. What background materials have you selected to provide context for your speech? What types of verbal and visual evidence have you selected to support your thesis? Why? Have you evaluated the credibility of your evidence? Organization. How have you arranged the supporting material to interest and involve this audience? How have you created a strategic argument? Delivery and rehearsal. Have you developed a relationship with this speech? How do you plan to use your voice and body to make this speech effective? What is your rehearsal schedule? References and works cited. Cite all works according to APA style guidelines. Persuasive speech sample outline. The text in red does not need to be included in your outline. Name. Speech title. The high cost of medication. How we can help ourselves. Speech topic. Prescription drug cost for seniors. Specific purpose. To persuade the audience to act to solve this problem. Proposition statement. The United States Congress should pass legislation to reduce the cost of prescription medication for Americans aged 65 and older. This is a question of policy. Introduction. Attention step. I. Most elderly Americans live on fixed incomes and have to pay the entire cost of prescription medication. 2. Many government reports and independent experts have indicated the cost for prescriptions will only increase. 3. The United States Congress should pass legislation to reduce the cost of prescription medication for Americans aged 65 and older. Proposition or thesis statement. 4. There are several harms with the current situation. However, there are solutions to help seniors with this problem. Body. Older Americans are paying an alarming amount of money for medications. Need step. A. The cost of prescription medication is rising rapidly. B. Medicaid and Medicare do not cover the cost of prescriptions when in the donut hole. 2. Elderly Americans are forced to make choices in order to pay for prescriptions. Need step. A. Some elderly people cannot afford to buy food. B. Older Americans will cut dosages in half to save money. 3. Legislative action is necessary to help alleviate these increasing costs for the elderly. Satisfaction step. Satisfy need through a solution. A. Medicare coverage must be expanded. B. The government must pass legislation that monitors drug prices. C. Lobbyists must work with pharmaceutical companies to bring prices under control. 4. The plan will work for a number of reasons. Visualization step. A. Existing plans are easily expanded. B. Tighter government regulation will ensure a fair cost for a product. C. Lobbyists can coordinate efforts between the legislative and private sector. Conclusion. I. Many elderly Americans cannot afford the high cost of prescriptions. Action step. 2. The people of the United States can act to ensure everyone pays a fair amount for prescription medication. 3. The United States Congress should pass legislation to reduce the cost of prescription medications for Americans aged 65 and older. Persuasive speech grading rubric. Student name, date of YouTube submission, time length of presentation, audience and speech preparation, 20%, 25 total points. Without a witnessed audience there will be an automatic 20% deduction from the final speech grade recorded before an audience of 3 adult human beings, or modified as appropriate. Subject of speech appropriate to occasion. Audience topic appropriately narrowed to fit time guidelines. Outline was constructed according to Monroe's motivated sequence. Complete sentences were used on the outline. Reference page was submitted. Subtotal /25. Organization 30%, 37.5 total points. Introduction. Attention getting opening. Used rapport developed with the audience. Speech previewed. Proposition well developed and easily identified. Established strong credibility by acknowledging depth of evidence and supporting sources. Briefly showcased which sources are referenced in preparation for the speech. Body main points were obvious and well developed. Presented with fluency and in accordance with Monroe's motivated sequences. Transitions used between main points to build fluency. Offered more than an abbreviated listing of main points. Easily followed and interestingly developed. Evidence was used to support the subpoints in the presentation. Evidence was cited in the speech. Author, title, date mentioned for every source. Conclusion, implications of material highlighted. A feeling of completion developed. Recapitulation of main points and ideas. Subtotal, /37.5. Delivery, 20%, 25 total points. Physical eye contact. Frequent gestures. Meaningful posture. Comfortable. Note cards used properly. Made use of an extemporaneous delivery. Sense of communication with audience. Established visual aid, used properly, with confidence. Enhanced the speech, verbal, rate appropriate, volume appropriate, tone pleasing, vocal variety exhibited, enunciation/pronunciation correct, absence of fillers. Subtotal, 25. Content, 30%, 37.5 total points. Audience identified and considered. Ashoka cited the speech content prepared significant material developed in speech, which brings the audience greater knowledge and understanding of a topic directly related to and supportive of the proposition statement. Need, well-developed, supported with quality evidence. Proposal, solution, clearly explained, free of fallacy and logical, specific and well-defined through the details of this step, supported with quality evidence. Visualization, non-action versus action. Action, clearly explain logical and well-developed persuasive techniques employed adapted to a specific audience, of both your gathered audience and online course peers. Content, continued, positive interaction with audience, of both your gathered audience and online course peers, clearly presented by use of deliberative word structure, examples, etc. Interestingly developed and worthy of listening. New information presented unknown by our collective common knowledge, vocabulary and grammar appropriate. Well-developed sentence structure, jargon and unfamiliar terms defined. Subtotal, /37.5 points earned, /125. Persuasive speech preparation worksheet, for Monroe's motivated sequence. Directions, the following pages are a worksheet to help you prepare for a persuasive speech utilizing Monroe's motivated sequence. This worksheet is only to be used as a guide for development of an outline for your speech. You are not confined to use the number of main points, sub-points, or sub-sub-points. Rather, this worksheet illustrates the 5 steps of Monroe's motivated sequence. Name of speaker, speech title, speech topic, specific purpose, proposition, thesis, statement. Choose between a fact, value, or policy. Introduction, attention-gaining material. Step 1, gain attention. 2. Establish credibility. 3. Preview main points, body. Main point 1. Step 2, demonstrate need. A sub-point, B sub-point. 2. Main point 2. Demonstrate need. A sub-point, B sub-point. 3. Main point 3. Step 3, satisfy need through a solution. A sub-point, B sub-point. 4. Main point 4. Step 4, visualize the results. A sub-point, B sub-point. Conclusion, I summary. 2. Concluding remarks. Step 5, call to action. Cited references, according to APA, minimum of 5 outside. Supporting sources, sample evidence card with explanations. Please note that this evidence card is not meant to be used with the above speech topic. It is just an example of how to format evidence cards. Oral citations, oral documentation. This is used when including citations in your speech. These examples should not be included on your outline. Citing a source for paraphrased information, according to Keystone in a 1975 article entitled Things Walt Disney Never Told Us, the basic structure of the protagonist in fairy tales negates the inequalities of the leading female and male characters. Citing a source for a direct quotation, Mary Cross, in her 2005 article entitled Harry Potter and the End of Religion states, in many ways, Harry is a dangerous role model. The lessons he teaches do not fit comfortably within the existing moral fabric of our society. Embracing them encourages us to change the way we think about religion and ethics and personal responsibility. Citing a magazine, a reference work, and a speech. 1. Last week's Time magazine reported, 2. According to World Almanac, the number of people living in poverty increased by almost 10 million. 3. In his speech in Columbus, Ohio yesterday, President Obama urged citizens to call their representatives, sample persuasive speeches with instructor feedback. 1. The ultimate gift to sample deliberative speech utilizing Monroe's motivated sequence. Access this encoded speech through the following link. You need Windows Media Player Viewer to watch. MMS, video02.usd.etches /usd/ course_video/ streaming_video/ 2010/ SPCM101/ allops.wmv. The strengths of the speech and speech preparation are many. The following is a list of the speech aspects from my point of view, as your instructor. Audience and speech preparation, superb recording and capture of interaction with the gathered audience. The topic was well defined and chosen for any audience. Organization, attention-gaining opening, complete with a catchy title. I would like to see all of you clearly state, "This is my deliberative presentation for the Fundamentals of Speech Communication course, instructed by Nicole Ackman." This helps to clearly identify your presentation. This speech was organized well, with a clear proposition and easily followed pattern according to Monroe's motivated sequence. This speaker established her credibility early by sharing some of her preparations. I would like to see more specific connections with her source work throughout the speech. At times she shares many facts and statistics without enlightening us of the source. This leaves a question of her source credibility, in my mind. This speech was easy to follow, and yet interestingly developed with time devoted to strong word structure. Impressive. Content. Her audience was greatly considered, early on by stating a poll she had conducted earlier. This could even have been an informal Q&A, before the recording. Certainly the speaker builds a strong need in case in favor of donating blood, and then strategically outlines an easy course of action for you to donate blood. This was simple, yet effective. Notice her creativity and use of example. For instance, she describes and approaches the fear of needles and analogizes the process to a scratch on the arm. Her argument is logical and well-structured, free from fallacy. She did not incorporate a visual aid. What might she have used? Perhaps an overhead chart to share some of the statistics which become a bit mind-numbing? How about a map set of locations of blood drives? These are just a couple of examples I was thinking about while watching the speech. Again, I would urge you to watch her failure to cite specific sources. Your audience will need to understand your sources. Remember, you provide the audio roadmap, as your audience listens. Delivery. This young woman had excellent delivery tactics, and an effective style. Having an authentic audience there in front of you will help immensely, yet it does demand you are thoroughly prepared. Her tone was pleasing, her rate and volume were appropriate. Her enthusiasm and demeanor appropriate for the topic in the audience. 2. Cryonics, a sample informative speech. Access this encoded speech through the following link. You need Windows Media Player Viewer to watch, MMS, video A9AYTZ2XX8 USD/ course_video/ streaming_video/ 2010/ SPCM 101/ Cryonics.wmv instructor feedback. I posted this informative speech, for many reasons. Most of which, it is simply a fascinating showcase of evidence and word structure. This speaker immediately draws you in with her introduction, "The time is now." Imagine your grandmother or grandfather lying helpless. She quite quickly transitions to a solid thesis statement detailing her main points in support of the cryonics topic, which were the history, methods, and future of cryonics. She establishes strong initial credibility by stating, after reading dozens of articles, and the book, Cryonics, Reaching for Tomorrow. Not only does this speaker make this strong showcase of which sources she has referenced in preparation, she fluently and effectively cites these specific sources throughout. We are impressed by the amount of time devoted to developing such quality content. Obviously, she has undergone superb preparations. More than simply Googling cryonics, and developing from popular web resources. I can imagine this student thoughtfully accessing the research databases, reading book chapters, and putting quality time into this project. Speech writing and research paper writing are very similar. You will need to spend quality time researching, in order to build quality content for your speeches. Moreover, her vocal delivery is pitch perfect. I might advise her to strive to be a bit more natural. At times her physical delivery seems contrived and awkward. I believe she memorized this speech, which might be why her enunciation and rate are a bit compromised. Please don't memorize your entire speeches. That is not the point of this assignment or this class. Her visual aid is weak, a one-slide word of cryonics. However, it is present, easy to see, and clear. There is something to be said for these attributes and accommodating a recorded session. Thank you for taking your time to listen to me. I hope you enjoyed learning about persuasive outline and speech presentation essay as much as I did. Kindly remember that you can get a custom, plagiarism-free essay at Squid Essays for as little as $10. The link is in the description. See you next time.